Hey everybody, it's Rory from A&S Gear, and we've got some accessories to look at for your tanks today. We've got the HK Army Vice FC tank cover, tank grip, FC full coverage tank grip. So this is a rubberized or silicone, whatever you want to call it, tank grip for 48s, 68s, 80s. So anything that's going to be in that category, 48s, 50s, 68s, 77s, 80s. 88s, 90s, it'll fit that one. Because they are this silicone or rubber, whatever they're made out of, I'm not quite sure. Probably should know that, but that's not really important at this point. For the larger bottles, you will need to stretch it a little bit. I've put one on this 80 right here, and it's not hard to put on. It just does take a little time working it down and getting it on there. And you'll see that when we put the other side on there. So the cool thing about the FC or the full coverage tank grip, you can run it one of two ways. A lot of people don't like something to be covering the entire tank. They just want some butt tank protection. So when the tank is hitting the ground or they're diving or whatever, you're getting that protection on the back, as well as getting that that grip in your shoulder when you're shooting, when you've got the gun up. Maybe you do want some extra coverage on your tank though. This is where the front part comes in handy. So you're going to get both pieces with your tank grip. You're going to get the back cap and the front cap. So you can choose how you want to do it. Now they are cut so that they will match up when you put them together. You can see that they're slotted out. You don't have to have them line up. You can put it on there any way you want. But let's say you did want something on the front. We would just take it, get it over our gauge, get it over all of our burst discs. And then we're just going to kind of work it down. I'm going to put my fingers in these little holes right here. I'm going to stretch and pull at the same time and just keep working it down. Now, I probably should have thought about this before I put it on. Let me slide it back up. I really didn't try to line it up, but we're going to. I'm going to try to line up this cutout with this one right here, just so it looks a little prettier. And they will not, especially on this size tank, they're not going to match up, or meet up, I should say, once they're all the way down. But that's not the point. The point is for them not to come together. We're just looking for a little bit of symmetry, and we're looking for the protection on the bottle. All right. So that's on there. You've got a nice window right here where you can still show your hydro dates if you needed to. You can fold that down and say, look, my tank's in date. It's not a cover that goes over the entire thing, and if you ever had to show someone, you'd have to pull the whole thing off and then redo it all over again and put it back on. They're nice. They've got good grip. They don't slip around at all when they're on there. So the comfort's there. The workability is there. Or I should say the use is there. You're not going to have the tank just sliding off on you when you're out there shooting. So 80 cubic inch on here. We've got a 68 over here. If it fits this one, it's definitely going to fit on your 68s. One thing I will say about smaller tanks, your 50s, your 48s, which I've got here, this 48, you couldn't put this part on the front. Just on the tank section, it just wouldn't work. There's not enough space to get on there. But what you could do is you could overlap them. You could bring this down and start pulling this up and over the other one and working it down onto there. And you could get that to work, I guess. If you wanted to spend that time and get that thing to come over the top of that and get it on there, I think you could do it. I didn't really try earlier, but we're going to try now. There you go. Probably could do a better job lining these things up if that was important to you. But that's on there now, and it's still got the same amount of grip. It's not going to go anywhere. The only thing you have on there is a lip now. But I guess you had that on there too. It's just these are all the same level as far as height. And this one's just stick up a little bit more. I don't think that really would matter though. I would definitely have it this way rather than this on first and then the cap for the butt coming over the top of it, because that seems like your motion would scuff that or lift that up easier. But again, it is possible. It does fit the 48. I like it without the front cap on the 48. just like that. I think that's a perfect fit for this small size tank. And man, does it have some good grip. And surprising, I've put a lot of tank grips on a lot of a lot of tanks, and some of them are a nightmare to put on. These, not so much. Very simple to put on. There's lots of color options too on these, from exclusive ones that you'll only find through ANS, which I think are these swirl patterns, right, Ben? Correct? Yeah, so all these swirl issues right here. And then we've got some team editions like we saw with the Houston Heat one that I was putting on right here. We've got a Dynasty version as well, also an Infamous version right there. And then we've just got some regular old color patterns. We've got a Rasta one, Skull and Crossbones Pirate, that one right there. Got the Medic, the old Bullet Bill one from like Super Mario, Sniper. This is cool. I love this one, this rental one. I would run around with that one on there all day long. So check them out, guys. There's a lot of different options, and if you're looking for something that you can kind of customize to make your own fit, you don't need a full coverage, you want a full coverage, maybe some days you do, some days you don't. People are fickle, especially paintball players. This one fits you what you need right here. So check them out. HK Vice FC full coverage tank grips, available through the website. Check for available colors and order yours now through ansgear.com.